Hi, I'm Mogens Jacobsen and I made the MeeTo app for Netfilmmaker's Spock thing. The MeeTo app is probably a tool. It's not a game, but it's a tool. It's a sort of strange camera for your iPad. It's supposed to be a portrait camera, but of course you can take any sort of pictures you want with this camera. The only thing that is strange about this camera, it will only record half of an image, the top or the lower part of an image. And the image you then make will be shared with all the other users of the same camera app. And you can't start by just taking your own picture. You will always have to start by accessing one of the existing photos, one of the photos done by other users. And your photo will be mixed with the other folks' images. Let me demonstrate. I don't have the app here, but if I had and I wanted to take a portrait of me, I would select an image on the iPad. And probably I could select this guy. I think you know him. And then I would, by moving my head around, moving the iPad around, sort of try to get this to match my face and then record the image and save it. So the image that is saved and shared is a mix of President Obama and myself. The next person that takes an image could choose this resulting image and start by re-photographing my upper part or substituting Obama's lower part and use my upper part of the face. So it's like strange, partly defunct sharing camera. As I got invited by Netfilmmakers, I always like these invitations by Netfilmmakers, but it's been a long time since I really did anything for a screen-based platform. So I'm always like, screens are not my case. But then again, the iPad is a bit different. So it was nice to get the invitation and being forced to work with this portable screen again. Netfilmmakers project is mainly geared toward younger people. I'm old, so it's a kind of difficult thing to make pieces for younger people. But then again, when I do a piece, any sort of piece, I rarely think of the audience. I expect the audience to be at least as clever and have approximately the same knowledge as myself. So if I can use it, I can get something out of it. I hope the users or the audience can get something out of it as well. But for the audience, the younger people and the kids, that is really, really different. I expect kids to be at least as clever as I am, and at least as capable as controlling an iPad as I am. But we don't have the same references. So normally I use a lot of satire and political satire in my pieces. But I don't think kids read the daily newspaper, so I had to work with something we had in common. And everybody has this let's take a photo now in common. Everybody is taking photos now, cameras are everywhere, and this thing about taking photos or self-portraits or portraits of friends with mobile platforms, mobile phones, smartphones, tablets, is all over the thing. And I do it myself, of course. And a lot of people take these photos and share them on Facebook, whatever. So the whole idea of everybody is taking photos, even kids, or perhaps more kids than older people, and everybody is sharing. So let's build a camera that can only share things, and you will have to share things and work with that. Of course, MeeTo is the kind of different from the previous works. If you look way back in the 90s, I did a lot of screen-based stuff. I was working with net-based art, internet-based art, but I grew really tired of the screen, the small sort of frame for working within. So MeeTo is kind of different for what I do now. I do objects, 3D things, physical, strange equipment, pieces of equipment, defunct pieces of equipment. This is a screen-based thing, but it's not the same as going back to the desktop computer or the laptop again. The iPad is different. The iPad it's not as small as a mobile phone, but it's mobile. You bring it along with you. That's really, really different. You don't have to sit in front of the computer anymore. You bring this device with you, and it follows you everywhere. I think there's a really important step from the desktop to the mobile. So I sort of forgot about the desktop in, I don't know, around 2000, desktop computer, and moved to physical stuff. I find these small portable devices interesting because it's not locking the audience in front of a projection, not locking the audience in front of a desktop, but following the audience in their bags or in their pockets. That's a new thing. Technically, working with the iPad was kind of a challenge for me, because normally, back in the good old days with NetArt, I program stuff myself. When I do physical objects these days, I program them myself. I have absolutely no experience in programming the iPad, so for the first time ever in past 25 years, I'm working with a programmer. And of course, that's been nice. But this creative collaboration with the programmer, that's a kind of new thing for me. MeeTo started actually as a really, really different project. A friend of mine, Nikolaj Rikke, and I got invited to do some stuff at some elementary schools around Denmark. And we wanted to work with images and cut and paste and cut up and editing. One of the things we did as a sort of experiment was do this photo booth sitting in the back of the classroom that only recorded half an image. And we really loved the students playing around with this thing. It was a really simple thing. It was a stationary thing based on a webcam, programmed it myself. So that was really the starting point. But on a small scale, I think we tried it with something like 50 students or so, kids up till 16 years. Hopefully it will be different, because this is sharing, and the more users we get, the more fun it will be. Using the iPad as a platform for art, really, really difficult thing for me. Because again, as I said, it's a screen-based thing. And I thought I had left screen-based things 10 years ago. But the iPad is interesting. Not the ability to show beautiful image, or even on the new iPads, the Retina screen and stuff like, to show high-resolution images. But you can program it, you can make it into any sort of tool, and it's really personal, not as personal as a mobile phone, but still it's a rather personal thing, and it's something you bring along in the real world. That is interesting. I hate when computer technology, or for that sake, iPads, are used to just show beautiful images. No, you have to work with the computational abilities of the device. You have to work within the software, within the programming. That's my point of interest. I'm making a replica of a computer from '64, a huge, one of these huge room things from IBM for an exhibition in Aarhus. But of course, this is a political, satirical, humorous thing. This computer will try to calculate a political solution to the state of the world. And it will use text by especially Karl Marx and Adam Smith, and trying to figure out how would you write a liberalist, Marxist, capitalist, communist manifesto or solution to the world's problem? Of course, hopefully it will find a solution, but I doubt it. It will write a lot of political text, this machine. And at the exhibition you can get some small strips of quotes from this forthcoming manifesto to take home, or the machine has even a Twitter account, so you can follow the development on a Twitter account. That's probably the next thing I will do. After that, I think I will publish a book that's really, really retro media. If it finds any good solutions, I will publish this manifesto as a book, written by the machine. But that's next spring, I hope. So stay tuned, you will find the solution for all political problems in the world in April next year.